right, so get ready, because today we're diving deep into self-employment taxes.
Yeah.
And we've got some really interesting material to work with.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun.
Some marketing stuff from a new tax preparer named Blaize On'Fyah.
Cool name.
And
fiery.
it does.
Yeah.
Mixed with some actual advice about how to maximize your tax refund.
Nice.
So this is going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, a good combo for anybody out there.
For sure.
Who's working for themselves.
So this Blaize, she calls her approach the royal love treatment.
I love it.
I know.
The royal love treatment.
I mean, who doesn't want
Sign me up.
the royal love treatment
Yeah.
when it comes to their taxes?
Absolutely.
So she's fresh out of training from the tax bar.
Oh, wow.
And One Stop Tax Academy.
Okay. So she's got
tax institutions.
Yeah.
And it looks like she learned from some pros, people like Dr. Tiffany Thrasher.
Oh, wow.
And Mr. Q Gums.
Love it.
So that tells me she's got a solid foundation.
Yeah, I think so.
In tax prep, which is good for us.
Definitely.
Because that means that she's coming at this with the latest knowledge and strategies.
Yeah, she's been like embedded in the professional tax world.
Yes.
And now she's like bringing it to the people.
Bringing that expertise to her clients.
To the clients.
Now, one thing that really jumped out at me was her emphasis on documentation.
Okay.
She's got this incredibly detailed list of what self-employed people and even businesses with W-2 employees need to have ready for tax time.
I like it.
I mean,
preparation is key.
It's intense.
Yeah. So this is like, you're not just like throwing a bunch of papers in a shoebox.
No, it's not the shoebox method.
No, at all.
Not anymore. This is about being organized.
Yes.
Knowing your numbers.
Yes.
And having a really clear picture of your business
financial health.
Yeah, which is essential for spotting potential deductions and making sure you're not leaving money on the table.
Leaving money on the table. So she even breaks down exactly what forms you need, like the 1040 and Schedule C.
Got it.
Now, for anyone who's not familiar, Schedule C is where you report all of your income and expenses from your self-employment gig.
Got it.
So it's basically your business's tax return.
Yeah. So like your personal 1040.
Exactly.
And then Schedule C is for the business side of things.
Exactly.
That's
and Blaize is all about making sure you are claiming every legitimate
expense. So we're talking about those business lunches.
Yeah.
Keep those receipts.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget.
Gas for driving to client meetings. Supplies for your work.
Absolutely.
Even a portion of your home expenses.
Right.
If you have a dedicated home office.
So that's where it gets a little tricky.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Because Blaize talks about looking at everyday expenses.
Okay.
Through a tax-savvy lens.
Oh, I like it.
So
you give me an example.
Like that trip to the office supply store. Maybe some of those purchases are deductible.
Interesting.
Client meeting.
Yeah.
At your favorite coffee shop. Could be a business expense.
Right.
So it's all about being mindful.
Yeah, be mindful.
And strategic.
Strategic.
She even uses the term self-employment tax hacks.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like it.
I'm very curious
about. But first, let's talk about the tax bar's philosophy. Because they describe themselves as curiously helpful.
Curiously helpful.
Which I just love.
I like that.
It basically means they're not just crunching numbers.
Right.
They're digging deep, asking questions, trying to uncover deductions that clients might overlook.
So they're really like...
Yeah, it's like having a financial detective.
Yeah, a financial detective.
On your side.
I love that.
That's a great way to put it.
Someone who's actively seeking out ways to benefit you. And turning a potentially tedious process into a collaborative
I like that.
Search for savings.
A collaborative search for savings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Blaize seems to have really embraced that mindset.
Good for her.
She's all about finding those legal loopholes.
ethically, of course.
Of course.
And making sure our clients get every penny they're entitled to.
Yes. I mean, you want someone who's going to fight for you.
Absolutely. Right. And that focus on legality is important.
Right.
She's not advocating for anything shady or risky.
No.
It's about staying within the bounds of the law while maximizing your deductions.
Yeah, playing by the rules.
Yes.
But still getting those benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've covered Blaize's background, her training, her emphasis on documentation.
Yeah.
But let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, let's do it.
What are some of these self-employment hacks?
Yeah, what are the hacks
that she mentions?
Yeah, spill the tea.
Well, one that she highlights is the home office deduction.
The classic.
And this is where things can get
a little tricky.
A little tricky. So let's break it down.
Break it down.
All right.
Right. A lot of folks think if you've got like a desk in the corner of your living room, that you can just write that off.
Yeah.
But there are some specific rules about what constitutes a dedicated workspace.
Okay. So you can't just claim your kitchen table as a home office, even if you spend half your life working there.
Nope. The IRS is very strict about this.
Interesting.
To qualify for that home office deduction, the space needs to be used exclusively and regularly for business. So if you're also using that room for personal stuff, like watching TV or storing your craft supplies, it might not pass muster with the IRS.
That makes sense. So what about those of us who, like, let's say are freelance writers and we work from coffee shops or co-working spaces most of the time?
Good question.
What about us?
So in those cases, you wouldn't necessarily qualify for the home office deduction.
Got it.
But you could still deduct expenses related to those co-working spaces, like membership fees or internet costs.
Interesting.
So it's all about finding those legitimate deductions that fit your specific work situation.
I see. Now, Blaize also talks about the importance of tracking mileage.
Oh, yeah.
This seems like one of those things.
Yes, it's so easy to
calculate. Slip through the cracks.
Totally.
Especially if you're like running around town. Meeting clients.
What's out and about.
Attending industry events.
Right. All those miles add up.
Yeah.
Keep a detailed mileage log. Can translate into big deductions.
Okay, so
don't forget.
What can we?
You can deduct mileage for driving to client meetings, conferences. Even to the post office.
Oh, wow.
To mail out invoices.
Interesting.
Or products.
Okay. Speaking of products, Blaize mentions that inventory costs are another big one.
Yeah, especially if you're
for self-employed folks.
Selling physical goods.
Especially those selling physical goods.
Right.
So this is where
this is key.
Understanding the difference between cost of goods sold and operating expenses.
Operating expenses
is crucial.
It's very important.
So just to remind everybody, cost of goods sold includes the direct costs associated with producing or acquiring the products.
The products that you sell.
Yeah. Operating expenses are those general costs.
Right, like the more general.
Of running your business.
Overhead type stuff.
Yeah, like rent, utilities, marketing. Okay, I'm starting to see how knowing the ins and outs.
All about the categories.
Of these categories can really make a difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
When it comes to maximizing your deductions.
Absolutely. It's not just about knowing what's deductible.
Right.
It's knowing.
I hate categorizing it correctly.
I have to categorize it.
Yeah.
Which can be tricky.
And this is where having a knowledgeable tax preparer like Blaize can be invaluable.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing that struck me as a little bold was Blaize's comment about big name tax prep services.
Like the big guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she seems to think they just don't have the same level of expertise when it comes to
self-employment
taxes.
Interesting take.
It's a hot take.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it's true.
Is she right?
Self-employment taxes are definitely more complex than just like a standard W-2 return.
Yeah.
There are more variables, more nuances, and a greater need to understand the specific deductions and strategies
that apply
to self-employed folks.
Yeah, so maybe she's right.
Maybe
going with a specialized tax preparer.
Yeah.
Someone who really understands the self-employment landscape.
Yeah, like their bread and butter.
can make a significant difference.
Potentially.
In your refund.
Yeah, it's worth considering.
It's worth considering.
Especially if your situation is complex.
Right.
Or you have a lot of deductible expenses.
Okay. So we've delved into some of Blaize's self-employment tax hacks.
Yes, we have.
The home office deduction.
Yep.
Mileage tracking. Understanding inventory costs.
Yes.
Are there any other key takeaways?
Let me think.
You'd like to highlight for our listeners before we wrap up?
Well, one thing that I think is really important is that Blaize really emphasizes viewing taxes as an opportunity rather than a burden.
Okay.
So it's about shifting your mindset from dread to empowerment.
I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing taxes as this big scary thing, it's about being proactive, strategic, and taking advantage of all of the legitimate deductions. And strategies available to you.
Absolutely. And that's where having,
that knowledgeable tax preparer
can
be so valuable.
Can really help.
Someone who can guide you through the process.
Answer your questions.
And
help you feel confident.
In control
of your finances.
And maybe someone who gives you the royal love treatment. While they're at it.
Well, that's a bonus.
But
seriously, finding a tax professional that you trust and you feel comfortable with can make the whole process so much less stressful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of self-employment taxes, what final thoughts
let me see.
would you leave our listeners with?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway here is that knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to taxes.
For sure.
The more you understand about the rules and the deductions and the strategies, the better equipped you'll be.
Right.
To make smart decisions for your business.
Absolutely.
So.
And it doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Right.
We've seen from Blaize's materials, there are resources out there, There are people who can guide you, people who can guide you and help you navigate this stuff.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yes.
Do your research. Seek out professional advice when you need it.
Yeah.
Remember, staying informed is the best way to maximize those deductions.
Right.
Minimize your tax liability.
Yeah.
Keep more of your hard-earned money.
Keep more of that money in your pocket.
All
right. So to sum it all up for you.
Okay.
We've learned that being self-employed comes with some unique tax considerations. Well, you got to be organized. Keep meticulous records.
Yes.
And really understand
those expenses.
What expenses you can deduct.
Yeah, and how.
And to categorize them.
Yes.
We've also seen that there's some specific strategies.
Right.
Those tax hacks.
The hacks.
That can make a big difference. In your refund.
For sure.
Things like the home office deduction.
Yeah.
Mileage tracking. Understanding inventory costs.
Absolutely.
And perhaps most importantly, we've learned that having a knowledgeable and supportive tax preparer on your side can be a game changer.
A game changer for sure.
Absolutely. Someone who understands the intricacies
of
self-employment taxes and can advocate for you.
Yeah, fight for you.
To get every deduction you deserve.
Exactly.
So there you have it.
That's it.
Our deep dive into the world of self-employment taxes.
We did it.
Inspired by the insights of Blaize On'Fyah.
Blaize On'Fyah.
We hope you found this information helpful.
And
maybe even a little bit empowering. Remember, taxes don't have to be scary.
No, they don't.
With a little knowledge. And the right guidance. You can conquer tax season. And keep more of your hard-earned cash.
Yes.
Now go forth and file with confidence.
Yes.